So I just got home from checking out The Roses, a brand new film directed by Jay Roach that stars Benedict Cumberbatch and Olivia Colman. And I was pretty excited for this one when I first saw the trailers. It looked like a good fun time. I like Jay Roach as a director. He did the Austin Powers films, Meet the Parents, and some others. And so yeah, I was excited about this collaboration. I believe this is a remake of sorts of War of the Roses, which is also a novel. So I was, going into this with an open mind. I love Benedict Cumberbatch and Olivia Colman. And what I can say immediately about this is that the film definitely employs the greatness of these actors. You also have people like Kate McKinnon in the cast and Andy Samberg. So you have a pretty strong supporting cast here as well. And just overall in terms of filmmaking, it's a well-made film, and you have a bunch of great actors who do a good job. They bring their charisma, they bring their charm, and especially when it comes down to Benedict Cumberbatch and Olivia Colman, what they're known for, they definitely bring here to the forefront. And when it comes down to a lot of the charming, endearing, and very cheeky moments, a lot of that British wit, I think they do a great job in those moments and definitely kept you glued to these characters despite them being very unlikable when it comes down to how they treat each other throughout the course of the film. But as the movie was playing out, I found myself really disappointed that the trailers just showed way too much. And of course, that's been a conversation for the longest time at this point, that trailers show way too much. And it's always a bummer. And I think this year in particular, there's been so many movies that have hit theaters where I've seen the trailers so many times before movies because I go to the theaters every single week. And this was one of those movies where it just feels like it shows everything, including a bunch of the antics that take place in the third act of the film. So that was a big bummer for me. I just kind of felt like I was checking off a list in my mind as I was watching the film of all the key moments, all the jokes that I saw in the trailer. And while there are a couple other moments in the film that made me smirk or chuckle in a couple of moments, I honestly was pretty disappointed in The Roses. While it does have moments of fun and there's definitely an ending that I think is what's going to make most people laugh, it's a movie that I just found to be something that really, its biggest strength is its cast, but the writing and the dialogue and the humor, a lot of that fell flat for me. By the time the movie was over, it felt kind of like a generic romantic dramedy, but it's not terrible, but it could have been a lot better. I have a more in-depth review if you guys are interested over my YouTube channel, but for now I would just say The Roses kind of feels like a streaming movie, and I was hoping that it would be a much greater movie. But if you checked it out, leave some comments. Let me know if you agree with me or disagree with me. I know when it comes down to film is already subjective, but specifically when it comes down to comedies, that just adds another layer of subjective. So I know everybody's taste is different. Some people laughed in my theater, but I did notice there wasn't a whole lot of laughs on a lot of the jokes.